Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Metal video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Heroines event number 5, the special Heroines Edition event, and we're going to see basically how we can complete it and give ourselves a pretty decent time. Now, in terms of building for this, Peppy Girls is going to be the #1 go-to category, and this should not be a surprise to anyone. That's how all of these Heroine Editions works. Your main considerations will be around typing. So, for example, when you're building your team, understand that you'll do 15 rounds against Cheelai, who's an int character, and you'll do 15 rounds against the Fasha, who is a physical character. If you are building your team, trying to keep your team, especially if you're trying to use one team for the whole thing, try to keep your team quite type neutral. So bring physical or strength characters. Strength characters will do well against the physical Fasha, whilst the physical characters will do well against the Int Cheelai. So it's not all doom and gloom. Definitely try your best to kind of extract and use type neutral characters. There is also the understanding that Peppy Girls does not have a ton of leads. If you look at the leads for Peppy Girls, you only really have like Strength Videl and AGL Android 21, who are significant leads. You have the Int Rubriana, but she's more of like a sub lead at this point. So when it comes to this, obviously it's going to depend a little bit on what you're thinking. So for me, there is definitely consideration towards what to do here. For me, you can go Universe 6. Universe 6 will give you plenty build. Probably the strongest overall variation of a Peppy Girls team as well, to be honest, unless you have all of the general banner units. So there is definitely, again, consideration around this, you know. I think my biggest concern when I look at everything would be just making sure that you have a viable roster. In terms of usable units, I take a look at them and I think, for me, definitely, you know, from a free-to-play perspective, things can be a little bit dicey. So if you look from a free-to-play perspective, you don't have like the biggest array of units to use. You don't have like a massive array. You've got like the Strength Fidel, but she scales better with movie heroes. You've got, you know, certain free-to-play units that you can use, like Strength Rihanna, who I'm using, but they aren't like what I would classify as absolutely fundamentally amazing units. You know, they are decent units, but they aren't necessarily amazing units. So my suggestion honestly would probably be to most players, consider, for example, building a Universe 6 team. If you can't build a Universe 6 team, that's okay. Don't panic then about building U6. Rather, maybe look then at building for consideration just Peppy Girls team underneath the Inter Brianna, like the one I've got, and then see how that goes for you. I think when I look at everything overall, the team's not too bad because the requirements aren't too steep. Like if I look at the overall requirements for the stage, it's really not anything too hectic. The units don't hit terribly hard or anything. So you should be able to fundamentally have a good time just by building a kind of standard stock, very decent, respectable team. You don't need high-level units. You don't need to even have a Strength Fidel lead. Just basically match the typings and bring a Strength Friend Fidel, and you'll basically be good to go. Like, that is literally all you have to do to be able to have a good time. So it's definitely, from that perspective, a really solid kind of free-to-play friendly build. I think players won't have too bad a time. Now, in terms of the units themselves, I think Fasha and Cheelai are both pretty cool. I think if you look at them, look at what they do, look at everything they bring to the table, I think they are all really quite solid. Cheelai, probably the one that people are most excited for. She's, on the cutting edge of that kind of like support functionality, forcing enemy super attacks, 80% evasion chance against supers, rainbow orb creation, support for allies, crit support for allies, healing after the amount of evasion she's done, 3-turn ally support after evading 6 or more attacks, She's just a very, very, very good unit in that kind of perspective. And I think that's something to appreciate. Fasha, a little bit more straightforward. Kind of like your just stat buster hero, which is also fine. Like, nothing wrong with that. She can stun, she can do a lot of really good business. And then she also, on top of that, of course, has the ability to have guard for the first couple turns and just hit some really high, crazy numbers, which I think is really good. And then she's obviously got that 50% damage reduction. So both of them look pretty good overall. I would say for me, definitely look like solid additions. Obviously, your evaluation of Peppy girls will largely depend on your leader skill, more so than anything else. So depending on how you can run them is the main thing. Like, do you have a Videl to run them? If not, you're going to have a problem. If you do, then no problem. Otherwise, you're stuck using sub-teams, kind of like the Universe 6 units, etc. But yeah, that's it from me. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Let me know, and I will see you guys in the next one. So as always, take care, stay safe, and if you have any questions or queries, let me know.